Recently, I hit 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and while to many of you that may seem like a huge accomplishment, and to many of you that may seem like nothing, but for me, this has been a long time coming because I have been making content on YouTube for years at this point. 3 years is how long I've been posting long-form videos, or videos that are over 5 minutes long. And ultimately, I've made over 275 videos to get there, and so I wanted to break down exactly what that journey has looked like, how many videos that I continue to make on a weekly basis, the revenue associated with the 10,000 subscribers that I'm making from ads on YouTube, and some tips that I would recommend for anybody that's looking to start and grow their channel on YouTube. Okay, so as you can see right here, I've got my channel studio pulled up. Now, you can see I did just recently cross the 10,000 subscribers. I wanted to make sure that that was going to stick, because sometimes you lose a couple subscribers, you gain a few more, and this has been over 10,000 subscribers now for a few days at this point. You can see I've grown by 420 in the last 28 days, which isn't a ton, right? But for me, it's actually a pretty good amount. What I do also like to show, this is a short that I just recently had posted. It's my top one out of my last 10 shorts. I don't know exactly what made it go viral for my content. 2,000 views is not viral by any stretch of the imagination, but ultimately, I'm starting to see more growth. And ever since I passed 10,000 subscribers, I've also seen more subscribers coming in. I've seen higher amounts of views on some of my shorts, which has been pretty great. You can see the last few videos, 437, 610, 685, 1.1 thousand views on my 14-hour video that I did for selling on Amazon. And so it's been kind of cool to see some of these different videos take off. I don't usually see those amounts of views. I'll usually see a couple hundred on shorts and a few hundred on some of my long form, and over the long haul, they start to grow. But ultimately, this is where I'm at. Now, let's take a look at the analytics in my YouTube studio here. Over the last 28 days, I've had 36,000 views, 3,000 hours of watch time, 420 new subscribers, and about $408 in estimated revenue, which is actually up as well. You can see all these green arrows are up, which is pretty cool to see. Sometimes, actually, for a period of time during this year, I had some down arrows where it was going down for a little while. And so ultimately, what I have seen as I've been growing on YouTube is that it does take a lot of work. It takes persistence. For me, I started this not to be an influencer by any stretch of the imagination. I started my YouTube channel to answer questions for people that were selling on Amazon that I kept answering continually, and I just wanted to refer someone to a video so that I wouldn't have to keep answering it over and over again. I could say, hey, here's a video where I address that. And so that's what started this for me. And maybe that's why it's been so slow going on YouTube for so long, because ultimately I didn't start this trying to figure out what were the best keywords and how to do thumbnails and all of that stuff. But if we look over the last 365 days, we can see inside my YouTube studio here, from a view standpoint, I had a lot during the beginning of the year. And that's because I was posting 3 to 5 long form videos during this period, and I was doing at least 2 to 3 short form videos a day. So I got a bunch of different views, but to do that, I was paying editors quite a bit of money that it was worth it to get more views, but I just wasn't seeing the growth that I needed. And for me, from a business perspective, it just wasn't adding up to the revenue and growth that I was hoping for. But I have kept up fairly steady with 1 to 2 long form videos a week after that point, and about 1 short per week after kind of reducing some of my editing from there. Now, from a watch time perspective, we had a huge amount of watch time that just came in. I think that's due to my 14-hour video that I released, and so that makes sense why I would have a massive amount there. Subscribers have been fairly consistent over the last year, and then the revenues have been fairly consistent as well. It did go up at this point during a couple weeks ago, probably due to a couple of videos that did fairly well back to back. But ultimately, I did have a drop in revenue at this point in June, July, and I can't really attribute that to anything, but ultimately, this is kind of the growth that I've seen. And in the lifetime of being on YouTube, which was before I was obviously here, I was making content from, it says April, but it was about August of 2020 that I started making videos, or August of 2021 that I started making videos. And then until I got monetized, which is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. It took me almost a year to get to that point, or approximately a year to get up to that point. And then after that, you can see the revenue that has come in. I've made $7,800 in a few years of YouTube. I have not gotten rich from this, but it has been cool to see the growth, and it's a nice little side hustle income from there. From a subscriber standpoint, you can see it's been fairly consistent. Watch time also fairly consistent, except for this one outlier. And then the views have grown, this is the part that I'm excited about. The views have steadily grown over the years. You see a lot of YouTubers out on, making videos about their growth on YouTube, and you'll typically see something like this with a huge hockey stick type growth, right? it goes from a short amount and then it just has a huge upswing. I have not experienced that yet, but ultimately that's the goal. As I continue to make content, hopefully I'll see that. But there are also a lot of YouTube channels now that start and they immediately grow, and they'll go from 0 subscribers to tens of thousands of subscribers because they make it a point to find the best keywords, to focus on their thumbnails to get clicks, and they make engaging content. For me, I think my growth will continue to be slower because I'm making educational videos on a kind of niche topic of selling on Amazon and side hustles, etc. And I'm not doing it as a clickbait type of a video where you'll see a lot of the big entrepreneur influencers out there will have some clickbait titles, etc. And I'll do that from time to time, but that's not a focus of mine because I want to make sure that I'm making the content that I would like to make, not just trying to make stuff to get clicks and, you know, make people scared that the world is falling apart, or that they can make, or even make them aware that they can make tens of thousands of dollars in a few weeks. Like, I'm not going to be doing those types of videos. So I think that's kind of why I've had a slower growth, but it has been consistent. And so here's what I want to show you too. If I look at content, let me see if that's in here underneath the analytics. We can see the content that has done well over the years. This is for shorts. I did stop posting shorts for a while and then I started doing more. But if I look at all my videos here, this is the amount of views as it's grown over the years. These are the amount of impressions, and then my click-through rate at 5%. I don't think that's too bad. Ultimately, some people get 10%, some people get 2%, but 5% is pretty average for me. And so if we're looking at my content on this side for all of my long form videos, we can see that I've never had a massive video take off. My biggest one has had 36,000 views, but they've stayed fairly consistent. And so if I'm recommending anybody to get started in a YouTube channel, I recommend that they would get started in a place that they're excited to make content about, that they can just talk about for hours and hours on end, and that they're willing to just consistently make videos once to twice per week, every week. Now, 1 per week is probably the cadence that I would recommend for most. I have been doing 2 a week for a long time, which is why I have so many videos. Let's see if I scroll down here, I have 282 long form videos amassing over 400 or 500 gigabytes of storage inside of YouTube. And so it's a lot of content that I've made, but it's been able to be done because I've been able to make content on topics I care about, answering questions, documenting the journey, going through breaking news, interviewing people, doing software reviews and demos, etc. And so there's a lot of opportunity there. Additionally, within the content here, shorts. This is something that I've been doing more of over the last year. I've published 260 shorts, and most of those have been in this last year. There was a short period of time that I did some others last year, but ultimately it's been quite a good amount of shorts and long form videos. The views have gone up. I'm not getting millions of views like some creators do, but it's here to provide content and value to everyone that comes through. And so I hope that this is enlightening of kind of, if you want to start a YouTube channel, you may experience some growth where ultimately you start, you have 5 or 10 videos, 1 or 2 of them take off, and now you have tens of thousands of subscribers. That can absolutely happen. But I recommend for any business model, whether you're doing Amazon or e-commerce, you're selling on Walmart, you're trying to do a YouTube channel, ultimately have the viewpoint of you are going to do this for 6 months to a year. What is the long-term value of you putting in content on a consistent basis? You're trying to build and grow a channel. And if you have to do this for 2 or 3 years before things start to take off, before you start to make any money at it, is it worth it? Is it worth your time? Is it something that you're going to enjoy? For me, YouTube is a hobby. As much as I do make a few $100 a month from it, or even it helps me to make money from some affiliates that I'll promote from time to time, ultimately I do YouTube as a long-term vehicle to put more knowledge out, to help people as much as possible, and to just give me a hobby that I enjoy doing. I do like to make these videos and I like to put them together. If you notice, all of my videos are very basic. It's just me kind of talking to the camera. I have never done anything where I go out and I'm in like some field or on top of a mountain or in front of a fancy car or anything like that. It is just me talking to the camera. So it's fairly simple to put together videos that end up getting views and clicks and likes, etc. If you're trying to become a social media influencer on YouTube, don't follow my typical plan. You're going to want to do more digging and diving into keywords, into popular and trending topics, into how to make the best thumbnails and do the best editing. And so those types of things, you would be better off following somebody else for how to make YouTube videos. But ultimately, if anybody's interested in more content, I can put together a framework around how I've done YouTube. Again, it has been a long road for me, so I don't consider myself an expert of how do you really start and grow and crush it on YouTube, but I have learned a lot. And so if you're interested in more content on what I'm doing now that has kind of helped me to get more growth on the YouTube studio for the last year, I'm happy to do that. Just post in the comments below, because ultimately, if you're interested in it, I need to know. I want to make content that people that watch my content are interested in, and I'm happy to put together some frameworks that I think have worked well for my channel and hopefully for yours, especially being in an education niche. If you're going to be in an entertainment niche, it's going to be a little bit different. If you're going to be in some sort of a different type of a niche that I know nothing about, I won't be able to help. But if you're in the education niche, you want to start educating people or a subset of an audience about a certain topic or a lot of different topics that all relate to each other, then I'm happy to put together videos on that. But what I can tell you, if you're interested in starting YouTube, you've been thinking about it for years, just start, just put out a video. Don't care about the editing. Your first 5 to 10 to 100 videos aren't going to get as many clicks as the next 5 to 10 to 100 videos, right? And so you will get better every time that you put out a new video if you're trying to get better each and every day. The lighting doesn't matter as much. The background stuff doesn't matter as much. The type of camera that you have or the microphone that you have doesn't matter as much. And YouTube has shown consistently at this point that they care more about real videos than they care about the masked editing videos. And so I recommend just getting started. If that's something that you want to do, go for it and don't give up. Consistency is key here. Do 1 to 2 videos per week and just press record on a camera using your iPhone. My iPhone has like, I don't know, some massively good camera on it, and I could probably record all of my videos on there, but I do have a setup for a camera here. But if you've got an iPhone and you just can speak into it, that will do wonders for your channel. So it's fairly simple to get started, and I recommend just doing 1 video and keep putting out 1 video at a time. Don't focus on 250, focus on the next video, and you'll be good to go. So I hope this helps you and just kind of gives you some good way to experience what kind of revenue that I make from YouTube, which isn't that much. I spend more in editing than I make on YouTube on this, but I want to make sure to provide quality content to people. So if this is something that interests you, post it in the comments below. I'm happy to make more videos on what I've done for YouTube, some of the suggestions I have on keywords, on tools that you can use, on some of the setting for the lighting or set up for the lighting, and just let me know. So thanks a lot. Have a good one.